Hey friend, welcome to Chrysalis Chats. My name is Tonia and I help people transform their diets and lifestyles to be plant-based. This week's theme is all things animals, and specifically we're delving in today to animal societies. I'm using this handy dandy National Geographic publication, which is totally awesome. I love Nat Geo, and if you're watching this, you might very well love Nat Geo too. So let's delve right into it. Morality. Interesting. Like empathy, morality exists on different levels. We tend to emphasize a morality that involves deep reflection, making nuanced judgments about ethics, and conceiving of ourselves as consciously moral actors. Yet, some scientists have pushed against this definition as too narrow. Instead, they locate morality on a spectrum of animal behaviors rooted in empathy and social learning. Many other animals possess what might be called proto-morality, species and group-specific standards of right and wrong, fair and unfair. Ooh, so we're getting into the nuances of it. Animals have nuances within their own species and other species as well. Let's see here. We're going to start again right here. It says female chimps protest the mistreatment of children who are not their own. That's good to know. It's like mama over here standing up for mama over here's kids who are not being treated fairly on the playground. That's community, y'all. That's definitely community. That's how people do it. That's how the animals do it, all right? And it says, when a monkey receives a small food reward but sees another receive a much tastier treat, he'll choose not to eat it all. The same is true for a dog who readily shakes hands with a human until, that is, she sees another dog given a reward for the same trick she does freely, at which point she'll quit. Isn't that some fascinating animal psychology for you? By the way, my intention of this video, by creating it, is to just help bring your existing knowledge as somebody who's transitioning to a plant-based diet, or already a plant-based person, or somebody who's just really into animals and is considering just the complex worlds of animals to the next level. I want to help you bring that knowledge of animals to the next level. Whatever you're currently at, I want to just share what I'm learning from this magazine with you so that you can also know this awesome stuff that really stood out to me. I hope that makes sense. You're probably already somebody really into this stuff, or you wouldn't have clicked on it, but maybe you're just getting into it and this is all brand new to you and you've never heard of an animal society and you're like, what are you talking about? So go back, if you're just seeing this video, watch the previous videos this week, and I get into a lot more depth about starting at the basics, like animal minds, intelligence, emotions, right? Just building up from there. Now we're at societies, okay? So that's so fascinating, isn't it? In this little excerpt, we saw so many examples of how animals relate with each other based on their own code of morals. I mean, what? You're telling me that they know how to work within fair and unfair, those concepts? Yes, that is what I'm telling you. Animals function within that. Now, if that blew your mind, listen to this. This is cool. I want you to comment down below about this, about your thoughts on this in particular, okay? It says markets. Markets. Okay. While animals frequently share food or favors with an evident expectation that generosity will be returned, some animals take it to another level. Rather than an easygoing, what goes around comes around approach, they appear to tabulate the exchange of goods and services according to values that may change over time. In short, they have markets. This research began with chimps and other primates. Chimps keep a week-long mental ledger of who's owed food for grooming or who owes them. Male Verux Cephacus, I'm so butchering that, exchange grooming for sex during breeding periods and groom for more grooming at other times. Their markets undergo seasonal fluctuations. Grooming, with its combination of sensory stimulation and hygienic utility, makes a good unit of exchange. Female golden snub-nosed monkeys enjoy being around infants so much that they exchange grooming for baby cuddling. Oh, that's cute. When there are many babies, the price of access goes down and vice versa. It's supply and demand. What? Number one, that's adorable about the female monkeys. Number two, that's totally gross about the boy monkeys. I'm sorry. That's like, I'm really sorry, but that's like, wow, what an extreme representation of like the gender roles, Which so is not to say I'm not like so loving of every single gender type out there, and everybody is, they have their own sexual drive and stuff. Not trying to be like, you can't have a sexual drive. None of that baloney here. No baloney here, vegan friends. No, none of that. But anyway, moving along, this is where I wanted you to get like really into it, because this is what I thought was fascinating, okay? And this picture is foreshadowing, so I'm gonna show you or tell you what this says. It says, trading partners. Markets might not be restricted to primates. Would mouse behaviors appear to, wow, high fly. Would mouse behaviors appear to follow market rules? A striking example comes from vampire bats who regurgitate blood meals for fellow bats. No small thing, because going without blood for just a few days means death. What? There's bats that need to survive off of blood, and that is literally saying in here that they will regurgitate blood meals for fellow bats. Okay, got it. They often seek out hungry bats voluntarily, paying back debts or building up credit. Hungry bats sometimes rebuff an offer. They're making choices about whom to trade with and establishing a market in blood. Trading among vampire bats is less a function of relatedness than reliability. They're less likely to trade blood with deadbeat relatives than with unrelated bats who are likely to pay them back. Wow. This is fascinating. So in here we're seeing that there's literally an economy set up. Number one, there's an economy around blood set up with these vampire bats, so you see here, okay? Number two, something that stood out to me is that they're not just targeting like people they know. They're not just going like to the cousin and being like, hey cuz, you need some blood, I got you, you'll pay me back, right? No, if their cousin's like the delinquent vampire bat and they're not getting their blood, they're gonna be like, skip cousin, I'm gonna go visit this random bat who I see is out here hustling getting the blood, so that I have credit built up with that guy so that he comes back and helps me out in the future. Isn't that incredible? So this is so sophisticated, and this is a being who lives off of blood, which is disgusting, right? But it's what's what, and it is a bat, and they're a part of this ecosystem that we're in, right? And they're definitely a part of what makes this world so incredibly fascinating, okay? And they're showing sophisticated markets. They're literally showing the whole notion of like, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, except I'll regurgitate my blood meal, you regurgitate yours. This is getting into some like weird Buffy lore, but anyway, I digress. Maybe you're not into that. So anyway, point being, I just wanted to share with you a little information on animal markets and just the sophisticated nature of the animal world, okay? And how we can go from, you know, this idea that this animal is just like this little, you know, kind of conscious like thing, calling it, you know, versus like acknowledging them as a living being that has feelings and complex thoughts and their own communication, their own language set up, their language, they have their own languages, okay, set up. And not only that, but they have their own economies, for crying out loud. These animals have economies set up. And you want to tell me that they're not intelligent? You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean because you're watching this video, but I just thought it was interesting knowledge to share. And I hope that you learned something from this. And I hope that you share this knowledge with somebody who you know who would think it's cool. Share this video, speaking of this knowledge. Share this video with people who you think would appreciate it. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Put a comment down below. Be sure to check out my website, chrysalisandcocoon.com. Again, my name is Tanya. This has been Chrysalis Chats, and I want to thank you. Whether you're just a little caterpillar and you're like, where's the lettuce, dude? I'm just starting this whole thing off. Or you're a full-fledged butterfly and you're whipping up vegan meals like it's nothing, okay, in the kitchen. I just want to say thank you. You're amazing. You're part of the solution. You're not part of the problem. And for that, my friend, you are awesome. Have a blessed day.